Okay, cool. So this should be a rather short explanation, and I'm going to be demoing an example of what you can do if you get good at just general hacking. And this is the type of stuff that's a part of hacker culture. So finding a problem and then solving that problem using the tools that you learn as a programmer. So in this case, there's a platform that my friend Samson built. It's called Updately. It's for writing daily updates. And it's very nice. I've been using it for maybe half a year now. And there's a lot of data on here. So for example, here's Samson's page, and he's been writing updates for a very long time. And so there's lots of data here, and this is data that I can analyze. So my quest over here is to somehow get every single one of these updates. So these can individually be loaded and get every single one of these updates into a text format that I can, explore and maybe do some Control F and find specific things, like maybe find all the times that he's mentioned TKS, or whatever kind of interesting data question you can ask. And so in this case, the starting point, if I was to do this, is I would probably just explore and see what's up. So I would probably just curl the file over here. So if I do this normally, it's going to obviously return me the HTML, but in a format that is not very legible. So what I can do is I can pipe this into pub, which is just an HTML formatter. So this will make things very nice. And then I can pipe pub into a Vim buffer. In this case, I'm actually going to add a set file type equals HTML, since I want the nice syntax highlighting. I'm going to do that. And now I am in my text editor of choice, Vim, and I am exploring the HTML file. And so in this case, if I was to use developer tools, I can probably do some exploring here as well. But specifically, what I'm looking for is the data that is being displayed here. And what I'm really hoping for, I can't exactly point here, but at the bottom of the page, you might notice an HTTPS update leave and then this is the link to every single update. So if I can get access to that, it's probably in an A tag. So I'm going to have to do some regex to find it. But if I can find that and make a list of every single update's link, then I can use that list for further analysis. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take on my terminal and I'm going to be searching for these specific sentences here. I'm going to go edify, Agora kicks off. Okay, cool. So this text exists over here. And okay, so this is already an indicator that is quite interesting. So I'm on the 244th line, and then what is that? Basically 500,000 characters into this line. So this must be one absolutely massive line. This is a line right here, 244. Everything before it is a bunch of script tags. And this is just, I guess, looking at it, one massive object with a ton of updates on here. Now, the question is it just these updates here? Or is it every single update? And if I'm to just explore this page a bit, I notice that it has a very quick load time, and it doesn't actually reload the browser. Like I don't get the animation like this. And so I suspect that all the data is being sent client side, and then it's just re-rendering the specific updates that you request to see, which would be really nice if this massive object over here, like this is absolutely massive. It's even lagging my editor. It's so big. If this one object has all the data, it makes my work a lot easier. And so maybe a good test is I'm going to pick a random list here, and I'm going to search up one of these titles to see if it is on here. So let's see. Yay. Or, okay, cool. Very cool. So it does in fact show up. So yeah, I'm going to maybe just walk around here a bit, and it seems that it's just an object with information about every single one of the further updates, including comments. Wow, okay, so this is very expansive data. You can do a lot from here. There's just a bunch of data, but for right now, this is very not legible. It's not the best thing to do, so I'm just going to delete everything on top, and I'm going to delete everything below. I've deleted all the information, and I just have, I believe, what is a JavaScript object. But it's obviously extremely non-legible, so I'm just going to pass it through JQ. What this $%bang does is it takes in the stream of text and then passes it through the command and then puts it back on Vim. And JQ is just a formatter. So in the same way that we had pup to format HTML, JQ is just a formatter for JSON. So boom, okay, nice. Now we have nice information. It's very legible. So this is the one massive object that's being sent with every page, which is insane. insanely convenient for me since I'm trying to do some data gathering here. Has all the information I ever want. In this case, the information I really want to get to is down here, the updates array, which has every single update. The part I care the most about is the URL of every single update. That's the most important. So in this case, I'm going to use JQ again, because JQ can also be used to navigate a JSON object, JSON text object. So it would be something like this. JQ, I'm going to go dot props, right? I want to enter the dot props here. Then I'm going to go dot page props, into page props dot data, and then, well, first of all, we'll just see what this is. Okay, cool. So this is the data. Now we've got users. That's not actually what we want. Followers, not what we care about. Updates. Okay, cool. That is what we care about. So I'm going to go dot updates. Okay, we have an error. Let me see. Okay, I see. I'm just missing the actual JQ command. Cool. So now I have an array of updates. At this point, the only part I really care about is these URLs. So I kind of want to throw away all of the irrelevant information here. I could do it manually, but it's a lot nicer if I did it automatically. So what I'm going to do is do a string search, and I'm going to be searching for this specific line. And I'm going to instruct my string search to ignore any other line and only to keep the lines that match the specific regular expression that I'm going to give. So in this case, I'm going to be searching for URL with a colon, space, and I'm going to have a capture group. Very important. Basically, you're capturing this part of the string, and you can use it later. Okay, this is good. I'm going to put out the first capture group, and I'm going to say, have it general. I mean, actually, that's not that required. Only P is required for saying, okay, actually print this out. This should work. Cool. So now we have the URL part of every single update. But obviously, I actually need to add the HTTPS //updately.vercel.app. I need to do this for every single line. And in fact, there seems to be a couple of spaces here. So I'm just going to use a visual block form and delete all of these blocks. Cool, been deleted. Now what I need to do is just add HTTPS updately.vercel.app at the front of every single one of these things. You can use sed for that since I'm familiar with the tool. So I want to, let's see, I'm going to search, and I want to find a capture group. I want to replace this with, so let me look at a specific update here. The link of a specific update is just going to be the user followed by the URL for the update here. So that's very nice. So I can just take this over here, and I need to basically append this to a bunch of updately.vercel.app /Samson, Samson Zhang, etc. So I'm just going to do that here. Put the first capture group and end this. Should work. Okay, good. So we have HTTPS updately.vercel.app. So these are all the links, all of the valid links. And so what we can do is we can actually, if I wanted to, I could actually go explore this link, and it would be one of the updates. And I'm going to save this to we'll say updates.txt. Now I have my updates.txt over here, and I can play around with it. So just going to maybe check it out real quick. So yeah, it's just literally every single update. So what I'm going to do now is probably just run a for loop over here, and I'm going to bat the updates.txt. So bat just reads out the file like this. It just reads it out, and you can pipe it into different things. So in this case, I'm just going to have a for loop. Say for I in this list here, list of bat. I want to curl. So again, curl is to obviously, send the HTTP request for each one of these links. So I'm going to do a curl for every one of these links in the list here. I'm going to append it to a text.html. And so the way to conceptually think about this is that for every single one of these links, I'm going to send out a curl. And with the response that I get, I'm just going to keep on, adding that response appending that response to a text.html file. So this text.html file will eventually contain every single update that Samson's ever written. So I'm just going to start this loop, and this loop is going to take an insane amount of time to run because Samson's written something like 140 updates. So I will be right back when this loop is finished, and we will keep on doing our analysis. Cool. So now that that's done with, I should have a text.html file over here, and it will be a 9,000 line file with the HTML of every single one of Samson's updates. Very cool. Maybe make this full screen. So yeah, every single one of Samson's updates. So this means that it will actually include a lot of the useless part of the updates. Like if I'm to check this update specifically flying out tomorrow, then it means it's going to be including all of this, useless HTML junk. And all that I really want of this page is the text over here that's actually a part of the update. So I'm just going to use developer tools to figure out how I can parse the part of the document that I actually care about here. In this case, this seems to be the div over here that contains the irrelevant part of each link. And this has a class of pros, content, my U8. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use pup again. I'm going to use it in a sneaky way. And I'm going to say, I want pup to find me all the divs that have a class equal to pros, content, and my U8. So essentially, I'll just be removing all of the useless HTML over here. And I should be left with the relevant HTML. So, okay, very cool. So this is already seems to be exactly what I want. This is probably going to have even more lines now. Yeah, so 28,000 lines with every single update that Samson's ever written. But obviously, it still has a bunch of HTML tags. If I could get rid of that, it would be really nice. So in fact, I do have a tool called TextUtils, and it can be used to convert HTML into TXT. And so it will convert this text.html into a text.txt. So I can go v text.html, or no, in this case, I actually want to open the txt version of this file, which was just created. And boom, now we have the HTML translated into text, which is really, really, really cool. So yeah, we have every single one of Samson's updates in text formats here, and we can do searches. We can do some analysis here. So if I go bat text.txt, this is every single update, and then I can let's see what's some interesting things I can do. I can grep this and search for TKS. So all the times that he's mentioned TKS in his updates, this would be it. Well, there's actually more than this probably if I pipe this into less to actually explore it. So this is all the times he's mentioned TKS. TKS session on patents, whatever, TKS community talks. Overall, very cool. I can do a different search. I can search for my name. So yeah, maybe I've been mentioned a few times. We've had a couple of syncs, so I guess that's written on his updates. But yeah, that's just very cool things you can do. You can do analysis. I've actually got this updates.txt file, and so this has every single link to every update. So I can pass this through WC and just count how many lines -L, and this would be equivalent to the number of updates that Samson has written. So that would be 179. Anyways, so overall, I hope that you see the value of learning these tools and how it pushes you from being a mediocre developer to being a professional, being a part of hacker culture. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the demo, and let me know if you do some cool stuff with this. I'd love to hear it.